was just something about him. As soon as I saw his picture, I was like, it's him. Like he looks super sweet, and he was so small. And
my name is Jed, J-E-D, and this is MOXIE, M-O-X-I-E, and he's a Tibetan Terrier.
My name is HANA. This is MILO. He also has a couple of nicknames. He also goes by Mumford Puppy, Mr. Puppy Man, Mr. Sniff Sniff, but primarily MILO. And he is a miniature Schnauzer.
Don, Corgi, Wig, sorry. Don, Corgi, Wig. Friend of mine's dog, and I've been spending a lot of time and taking care of her since we met, gosh, 8 or 9 years ago. Yep. So I've been around for a long time with this dog.
Oh wow! So you take the dog out for walks?
Yep. We spend a lot of time together.
So Milo is a family dog. He is about 11 years old now. We've had him since he was a puppy. Our family has also always been attracted to just the Schnauzer breed in general. It's funny because what brought us to a Schnauzer is that a Schnauzer actually came to us. There was a friend of mine who had an elderly lady in her neighborhood, and she had a Schnauzer, and so she was basically looking for someone to help care for the dog, and our family just helped out. And it got to the point whenever it was time for the Schnauzer to go back home, he didn't want to leave, and he would just sit by the door. So she was just like, you know what, just have him. So we ended up taking care of him, and we would take the dog to her to visit. So when he passed on, we got a Schnauzer. When that dog passed on, we got another Schnauzer. And so this is, our Milo.
My wife and I met MOXIE's half-brother on the street last fall here in DC, and we took to him, and he told us where MOXIE's family was born and where the breeder was. And we met him. He was born in a litter a few months later, and we met him around Memorial Day in the middle of the COVID pandemic.
so my name is Ava, and this is Bentley, and he's a pug mix. I was recently hospitalized back in May in a mental institution for depression, and one of the things that I really wanted to help with my recovery was to get an emotional support dog. And so after I got out of the hospital, I went to this one adoption rescue, Homeward Trails, and was looking for dogs to potentially adopt, to train. Bentley, it's okay. And it took me a couple weeks. It took me weeks, and then I saw a picture of him, and I knew there was just something about him. As soon as I saw his picture, I was like, it's him. Like he looks super sweet, and he was so small, and he has these scars on his back and his head from his previous owner, because they chemically burned his skin, and so it was just to see that he went through something, but he's still such a sweet dog, which just brought my attention to him. So that's how I just ended up getting him.
What is one significant memory that the two of you have?
Well, during COVID, not long after it all started, we took an RV trip together, the three of us, and ended up going all across New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and where else? Delaware, and Maryland. And so slept in the RV and the whole bit. So she was there that whole time for weeks. Yeah.
How is she as a road trip dog?
She's great. She hates other dogs, any other animal at all. Loves all people no matter what. So she's absolutely fine with any human being, absolutely terrible with any animal. So she regards, picking a fight with any animal as protecting, us. So that's just the way it is.
So Milo and I are very playful, and it's funny because, like I said, he's a family dog, and while I was living at home and years after college, I would still go out and come home tipsy sometimes, and I was living with my parents, and I always wanted to play with Milo. So it's funny because now my family says I got him in the habit of wanting to play at night. So it'll be like 11 o'clock at night and he's picking up toys and he wants to play and trot around. So my mom was like, you know what, he's been doing that, he needs to come hang out with you. So sure enough, you know, he gets playful around 11:30 and I was like, come on, we're in the right house, let's play. So we'll run around my apartment and play. So that's just one of the things that we always do. It's pretty funny.
Even at 11 years old.
Yep.
Still at it.
He still got it.
We were taking a walk and a guy had 2 small tortoises. And he had never seen, I don't know if he'd never really seen much of any reptiles before, or just they were the right shape to be something you would chase, but they weren't really moving, but they were clearly alive. And he was so fascinated, but also freaked out. And I tried to get him as close as possible. They say that you should always be showing them new things, and it helps them, be well adjusted. So it was a really fun experiment seeing how close he would get to something he was afraid of, something brand new that he'd never seen before.
I remember when I first picked him up to bring him home, and he was sitting in the passenger seat, and then all of a sudden he was just hopped up into my lap and just sat in my lap the whole way I drove home, and just was sat there and was just licking me, would look out the window, try to see what's in front, and that's when I realized how sweet and loving he was. Because at first he was a little hesitant, he was still kind of open, but he was kind of hesitant, and that's when I really realized he really is a sweetheart.
In some ways she thinks she's protecting you, but you are protecting her, is kind of the interesting thing of it. And but she's a great companion and a source of great amusement, I would say.
So our bond to me is just a soul-to-soul type of bond. I often refer to him as my little brother. My sister also has a Schnauzer that she got, and so he is Uncle Puppy to that Schnauzer. So we look at him just as a family relationship. We have a bond that's deeper than just, owner and dog. It's, human to, another species. This is how I look at my general bond with dogs and other animals, soul to soul. So, you agree to that? Yeah.
It's funny the way you spend so much time with a pet. I've never had a pet before. And they land in some spot in your head, in your heart, that's more important than, a book or a stuffed animal, but not quite a person, but it's closer to a person. And some people would say it's the exact same as a person. So it's been incredible having a new friend and someone a family member, someone you care about so much, and it's a little bit scary to care so much, especially about someone you've just met.
Since he's come into my life, things have gone a lot better, and he's just such a light, and he makes me so happy. And I take him to training, he gets trained, and I take him out. We basically do everything together. He sleeps in my bed. He's super sweet. He means the world to me. I love him so much, and I can't imagine my life without him now. I love him, yeah.
Hey, thanks so much for watching Dogs and People Part 5. In this series here with us, we're highlighting the significant relationships in our lives. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with all the new videos that we'll put out every single week. Have a great day.